Okay, Shima girls. So I decided to create this particular video in response basically to my previous video about Shima's 9 months of new growth due to the fact that there were some pretty pertinent questions posted regarding stretching. And I realized that a lot of black women and young black girls out there really have no idea what stretching is. You know, they sincerely don't know, and some of you did respond back, but some of the posters did take offense because they felt like they were being attacked. That's what I got off. That's the vibe I got off from it. So let's make this video and explain what stretching is. First, let me read the sincere questions that they posted. For example, one of them posted, "I'm natural, always have been, so I have a question about people who are relaxed. Why do you stretch your touch-ups if you're still gonna end up putting the chemical right back in it?" Then another one was asking pretty much the same thing. "Hey Shima, what is the purpose of stretching your relaxer? I really don't get it. And if you wear a perm, you have an inch of new growth and you don't reperm it, if you don't reperm that hair, that why stretch?" So I see people doing it a lot here on YouTube, but I don't see the point of it. I'm just asking. I'm not trying to be rude. I just want to know the reason why people do it. And this is why this video is going to exist today. First, let me start off with saying that you first let me start off with this. The reason why I personally stretch, I'm gonna get into the basic definitions of stretching and a whole lot of other stuff regarding stretching, but let me just get this out there. The reason why I'm stretching is basically to prolong the amount of times I actually put relaxers in my hair, because I do acknowledge the fact that relaxers can over time, cause some damage to your hair, because with the sodium hydroxide, it is a chemical, very strong chemical. So the less chemicals I put in my hair, the healthier that my hair will be. So that's why I personally do it. And that's why I'm 9 months post relaxer. Now, let's let's just get into the basic definition of stretching, and I'm trying to simplify it as much as I can. Okay, so here it is. Stretching, stretching relaxers is basically prolonging or surpassing the 8 to 10 weeks that we normally wait before we get our next relaxer touch up. That's what we're doing. Once you surpass the 8 to 10 weeks, you're actually stretching. You want to go a little longer, just a little longer than 2 months, or 2.5 months. So we have black girls and black women who are like in the normal stretchers category, quote unquote normal stretchers, and they tend to stretch their relaxed applications up to 12 to 14 weeks. This means 3 months or 3 months and 2 weeks. Then we also have the advanced stretches category, who can stretch their relaxed applications up to 6 months, 9 months, which is me. Now I'm up to 9 months, and even a whole year, which eventually will also be me. Also, have you ever considered that you can also stretch your hair dye applications? Because that's what I've been doing as well. I haven't dyed my hair for the past 9 months or so either. So I consider that stretching, and you can see the actual stretching of the hair dye in the picture to your right. You see the black part, which is my normal hair color, and you see the medium auburn color. That's stretching to me as well. Remember, the hair dye is also a chemical. It's just a chemical that happens to color your hair, whereas the relaxer is a chemical that happens to straighten out your hair. So they're both chemicals, and you can stretch both of them. Okay, now let's get to the burning question. Why do we stretch our relaxers? Why do certain black women stretch their relaxers past the normal 2 months or 2 months and a half? Well, let me just give you the pros of stretching, the benefits of why we stretch. And one of the most beneficial things we obtain from stretching is minimizing over processed hair, which is basically what I was explaining to you with the reason why I do it. It minimizes over processing our hair. which is a leading cause of why we could end up with weak, thinning hair, and in severe cases, even hair loss. Now, the second most beneficial thing we obtain from stretching our relaxer application is retaining a greater amount of hair length, provided that we were able to carefully keep our hair healthy during the stretch. Okay? So, because as some of us know all too well, when we are dealing with two different textures and we are not using the correct products and the correct combing, the correct washing techniques, and the correct gentle handling techniques, etc., our hair can break off at the decarmation point. Now, what is a decarmation point? The decarmation point is basically a term that is used around the hair world, and it's basically describes where the new growth meets the relaxed hair, that in between thing that you see. Okay, the natural touching the relaxed portion of your hair. That's the decarmation point. That's where it gets weak. That's why some of you cannot stretch that long, because you haven't mastered the skills to be able to keep your hair healthy enough, long enough to reach, past 3 months or 4 months or up to 9 months like I am today. Okay, so our hair can become extremely weak, shed abnormally, and become spread at the ends. I mean, a number of unhealthy things that gives us unnecessary setbacks can occur because we're not, stretching our hair the healthy way correctly. Okay, and what I mean by that is this is why I've created the Shima hairline cream, to help us stretch the amount of times we relax our hair. That's what I've been using on my hair to be able to stretch the 9 months I've managed to accomplish, and I'm going up to a whole year. My cream, you can actually just comb through it. It doesn't dry hard like a gel. It's an actual cream that you just comb through it. Instead of putting another relaxer on the new growth, you put in the hairline cream and you're able to stretch. It's not a chemical. So, we need to use the correct products in order to keep our hair as healthy as possible. Okay? Now, let's get into something else. Therefore, we have to keep in mind that when we are dealing with two different textures, our hair is extra fragile, and the relaxed part, where the decarmation point is, can easily snap if these two textures are not being cared for correctly. Hence, Shima oil and using the Shima hairline cream. Okay, so you ladies that already have access to these two particular products, you need to be using it. Okay, especially if you're doing the stretching, and I hope you are doing some stretching so you can minimize the amount of chemicals that go in our hair. Okay, now another great thing with stretching is that we get to use the protective styles. Okay, using protective styles has easily helped me reach my 9-month stretch. However, some of you ladies have to take into consideration that certain protective styles are just not meant for you if it makes your hair weak and break. For example, some of you ladies can't wear braids because you claim it makes your hair break. But to that, I will question the type of hair you're using for your braids, to create your braids. For example, if synthetic hair is the real cause of why it is making your real hair break off, then I will strongly suggest that you opt for the human hair. Okay? So if the synthetic hair, if you're allergic to the synthetic hair, your hair is allergic to the synthetic hair, and it causes it to break or thin, use the human hair. Okay, but you do need to keep those ends tucked in. Remember, once the ends are exposed to the air, the drying out process begins. You have to remember that the air is a drying agent. It dries out the hair. Okay, just the same way it dries out paint, it dries out the clothes when you hang it in outside to get dry. The air is a drying agent. It dries a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so yes, braids, hair buns, and simple twists are excellent and effective protective styles to help us out during our long stretches. Okay, also another awesome benefit we obtain from stretching our relaxers is that it helps to minimize overlapping when we get our hair relaxed again. Okay, so all that new growth, it's great because, you know, it's not too close to the relaxed portion of the hair. So yeah, that's some good benefit there. Another fun one is this one. When we wait this long to relax our new growth, meaning 6 months, 7, 8, 9 months, and especially if we reach a whole year, the happiness that we feel when we see all that gorgeous new length we achieved after our hair has been straightened, it is extremely empowering and extremely to see the fruits of our labor, you know, all that waiting, all that patience it took, all that hard work it took to keep our hair healthy and from breaking off with the two textures. We were dealing with two different textures, but we managed to keep it from breaking off, okay? I mean, we think about all these things. Well, at least I do. When we get our hair relaxed and it's super straight again, and we look down and now it's bra strap length when 6 months ago it was only ear length, or now it is waist length when 9 months or 12 months ago it was just bra strap length. It feels good. It feels good to achieve a goal after you put so much effort into it, you know. And in some cases, this is a dream for a lot of you to have your hair that long. Because remember, there's this unfortunate stereotype, fortunate myth that black hair cannot grow that past shoulder length. It can't grow any longer. So that's a great feeling when you see it past shoulder length. So it's like it's a very pleasing surprise type of moment for a lot of us, especially if you're keeping a picture or video diary of your hair journey and you can see the actual difference in front of your very eyes when you compare the before and after pics. It's a wonderful feeling, wonderful feeling. So try to look at stretching relax application as a type of safeguard. It's a safeguard from too much chemical in your hair, safeguard from overlapping. And another thing, you don't have to stretch as long as some of us do, 6 months or 9 months. If 3 months is good for you, then stretch that long. If 4 months is good for you, then stretch that long. Remember to develop your own personal and comfortable hair care regimen. Remember what I said in one of my previous videos. Do not copy other people's hair regimens to the T. Okay, this is what this means. Don't stretch your hair relaxer applications 9 months just because Shima did it. And then you find yourself struggling or feeling uncomfortable or feeling stressful with the manipulation of so much new growth, because there's going to be a lot of new growth to deal with 9 months under your belt. There's going to be a lot of new growth to deal with. And if you're not ready to deal with all that new growth, don't go there. Okay, don't go there. Letting you know. So if 3 months is good for you, then stop there. Your hair is growing and will get long regardless. Your hair is growing unless you have a severe medical condition, and will get long regardless as long as you keep Shima oiling, using the Shima hairline cream, doing your protective styles, using gentle handling, etc. Okay? Because let's just say if you do end up stretching the 9 months and you end up causing damage to your hair because it just wasn't your comfortable level of your personal hair care regimen, and you weren't able to comfortably take care of your hair correctly, so you damaged your hair, you basically self-defeated the purpose and lost valuable amounts of hair length. Okay? So let's say you managed to do the 3 months because it was your uncomfortable level, you know, and therefore you preserve the valuable amount of hair growth. Okay, at least you got some hair growth out of it. Fine, it's not as much as it would have been if you would have lasted the 9 months, but it is still hair growth regardless. Be it 1 inch, be it 1.5 inches, it is better to have that than to have gained nothing at all. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong, Shima girls? So I hope that this video has educated some of the newbies out there that have no idea what stretching is, and God knows what else regarding proper black hair care. You know, a lot of our black women don't know the basic things about proper black hair care. So, you know, their questions are welcome. You know, they are sincere questions. They really don't know. Okay, they really just don't know, and that's why I'm here. You know, I do my best to educate you ladies as much as I can, so that you can make it, and you know, grow your hair as long as you know your personal goals are. Okay, I wish you a very happy Father's Day to all of you ladies' fathers, and God bless Shima girls.